Hi, everybody. Do any of you know who I am? That's a rhetorical question. You probably don't. A lot of times in our lives, we have to meet new people, and there are going to be times when we have to introduce ourselves to others and for others to introduce themselves to us. Being able to talk about ourselves and to listen to other people talk about themselves is one of the fundamental ways to communicate and how to build relationships. So, to that end, my name is Alex DeJean. And in this presentation, I'm going to talk about myself so all of you know a little bit more about me. There are three things I'm going to cover. Number one, I'm going to talk about myself in terms of being a teacher. Second, I'm going to talk about my love of technology and my addiction to technology, if I'm being honest. And then third, I'm going to talk about my love or obsession with pop culture. With that being said, let me move to like a different side of the frame so I can visually indicate that I'm going to talk about something else because I'm going to move on to my first point. Okay, so first thing about me is that I'm a teacher. I've been teaching at the college level for over 10 years. I have a master's degree in communication studies and I teach communication studies classes. For those of you watching, you're probably watching this because you're in one of my classes and you're watching this video as an example. I've taught classes such as public speaking, argumentation and debate, interpersonal communication, small group communication, communication and new media, and more. One of the great things about being a teacher is being able to express information and really getting people involved in ways of how they can grow themselves. Now, one of the good things about teaching is that it's relatively stable and you always meet new people. In terms of teaching, I have taught thousands of people on how to be stronger presenters and how to be more confident and more poised as they present and they communicate effectively and build relationships. Communication is essential for success and relationship building. And as a teacher, I try to illustrate that as best as possible to help other people understand the best that they can be. So that was me explaining what I do as a teacher and what I teach. Next, I'm going to talk about really my love of technology. So I'm going to move over. So, another thing about me, I am a giant technology nerd. And like I said in my introduction, I am pretty addicted to technology. I have a smartphone, a laptop. I actually have two laptops. I have multiple tablets. I have a PlayStation 5. I have a Nintendo Switch. I am compulsively online all the time. Now, some of you might be thinking that's a really bad thing, which is actually kind of true. Being too digitally involved can be really hampering. But a thing to keep in mind is that since we live in the digital age, it's kind of a medium now to have to be digitally connected. Like our digital selves are part of our lives, and we have to understand that. The important thing to that is how well we maintain the balance between our digital selves and our physical selves in the world. So that's sort of me talking about technology. Next, I'm going to move on to my third point and talk about why I love pop culture so much. Okay, I love pop culture. It is a really big thing. I have been binging and watching Knights of the Seven Kingdoms right now. I love anime. I love SpongeBob. 6'7", right? A lot of times try to be keyed in because I watch so much media. I tend to know a lot about pop culture. Some of you probably like the same pop culture I like. Like if you've ever liked really big movies that have come out, or music, or bands, or anything like that, pop culture is a really good way and a really easy way to sort of get to know people because it's most likely that there are certain things in popular culture that you like, that I like, and that other people might like. So for me, being really big in popular culture is really important because it gives me information to more easily socially connect with others in a sort of low key and informal way. So now that I sort of talked about myself and my love of pop culture, let me get back into the center and wrap things up. So, in this presentation, I talked about sort of my identity as a teacher. Then I talked about my technology obsessions, and I talked about how I'm a big pop culture nerd. My name is Alex DeJean, and I hope you got something from me introducing myself and talking about myself in some particular way. This kind of stuff is really important because talking about ourselves helps other people get to know us and helps us get to know other people. And when different people get to know each other, we more effectively establish bonds and relationships and can communicate more effectively. So, my call to action to all of you is to try it out. If you're in my class, you pretty much have to do the same thing as this. So if you're taking my class, make another personal purpose speech or a self-introductory speech like I'm doing right now. And if you are not watching, or if you're not in this class or in my class, or you're just watching it randomly, I don't know how you found it, but maybe you can take a communication studies class. I'll leave it right there, other than saying I will see all of you on the other side. Thanks for watching, everybody.